If your skin is a little bit looser and you're struggling to place makeup, this is the video for you. If you're new to my channel, I'm Sue Blackhurst. I'm 61 years old and I'm a beauty therapist and makeup artist. And I'm here to give you all the hints, tips and insider hacks for your skincare and your makeup. If you haven't yet downloaded my free guide of the 12 makeup mistakes that age you, I will pop a link in the description and in the pinned comment. Download that now. It's free. Applying makeup to loose or crepey skin is so much harder because not only does the skin move when you touch it, but we'll also have a change in the facial structure because things are starting to move a bit more south, aren't they? So what we need to think about is not covering the crepey skin. We're using optical illusions to sort of disguise it. And in order to do that, we've got 4 basic rules or principles to follow. Number 1, it's all about hydration. The skin has got to be really hydrated well. If you have loose or crepey skin and it's dehydrated or it's dry, it is just going to look far more pronounced. The line's going to look deeper and it's going to look duller. So hydration is absolutely key. The second principle is about using minimal amount of products. That's not only in quantity, the number of products, but it's also the amount that goes on the skin. The next one's all about the type of product you use, and these are products that allow the skin texture to remain sort of flexible and pliable. We don't want anything that's going to crack or case or crease on the skin. It's just going to make it look worse. And finally is about placement of makeup, because what I want to do is place makeup in the right place to help lift it, making us look a little bit tighter and firmer than maybe we actually are. Starting off with hydration, I've cleansed and toned. What I'm doing now is just applying a hyaluronic moisturizer. This is one by To So Wong. I will put links to everything I'm using today down in the description box. Rather than going through it on camera, I'll put everything there. If there's something you're interested in, you can go and have a look. So as I'm applying the moisturiser, something to be really aware of is there are no serums or creams that are going to tighten and firm your skin. They just don't work. Serums and creams can have an element of influence over skin texture. Makeup, of course, can disguise some imperfections, but if you've got loose and crepey skin, the only way to repair that is by using facial devices. We need to go deeper. We need to look at the muscle, the collagen and the elastin. So we have to learn as many little tips as we possibly can to help our skin look better. I'm also working in a different order today to apply the makeup. So it's a slightly sort of opposite way around. First thing I'm going to do before anything else is actually my eyebrows. Because we've got a nice rich emollient moisturiser on there, that can be a barrier for you applying any eyebrow pencil. So now I'm taking a little bit of micellar water just to take off any creams that are in the eyebrows. What that means is that any eyebrow pencil you put on actually sticks. I've got a Maybelline pencil here. It's got a little spoolie, wrong end. It's got a spoolie at one end, always very handy. And the reason I like this, it's got a very fine pencil. If I just undo that, it's got a very fine pencil at the other. So hopefully you do have some eyebrows. If not, do not worry because we're going to draw some on. But if you have some hair there, you're going to go against the grain first of all, and then we're going to brush up into shape. Eyebrows are the frame to the eyes, so we need to try and get an element of lift. If we're looking straight ahead and we take a line on the outer side of our iris, that is almost your highest point. So when drawing in, and I'm using very fine pencil strokes here today because minimal products, we don't want anything too heavy. Finding that highest point, we also want to just lift the end of the eyebrow. But that eyebrow now frames the eye, but it's also got an element of lift, and this is the optical illusion. What we have to do now is, because the skin is looser, it's pulling down, it makes the face look longer, it makes the face look sadder in a way as well. And of course, it's more aging. So we're using all these tricks to lift the face. Let me just get this eyebrow to match. I'm going to go over this with the spoolie again. And now we can take a cotton wool bud, pop in a little bit of my micellar water, and this is where we can tidy up any little bits of pencil or whatever you've used for your eyebrows. What I've got here, this is just a simple, it's quite hard to read that, but it's a simple eye balm. The reason I like the balms is they've got a really lovely like lip balm sort of texture. Like a little tiny amount there, ring finger, warm it up. I'm tapping under, but I'm also taking this over the brow and the lid. Once we've got the hydration on the eyes, we now need to move to colour correction. Before we apply eyeshadow, we're colour correcting. This is my good old faithful, my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is in the sort of pinky colour. The reason I like this one is it's a great colour neutraliser. It will also brighten the eyes. So if you've got sort of deep set or hollow eyes, or your skin's looking a little bit dull, this actually brightens it as well. If I just do one side first of all, so I'm taking that in that sort of hollow area down the side of my nose. And I'm taking it in that little inner socket there because we are going to be applying this over the eye as well. Using your ring finger, we are also taking it over the eye and the brow bone. So we're neutralising and priming at the same time. So hopefully this eye now, it should look a bit more open, a bit brighter and a little bit more lifted. When it comes to the eyeshadow, now I'm only going to be using one eyeshadow. This is a Delilah pencil. This is a very different application. Here I'm taking this over this lid here, one product. It's going in the socket line. It's also going up into that brow bone. This pencil is I would call it a sort of bronzy colour. It's a warm bronze. So we're now going to blend this in. All I'm doing is avoiding this very inner part of the eye. Now we are going to be taking it up at the outer edge, but don't worry too much because we're going to tidy that up. That's why we haven't done our base yet. So there, that is one eyeshadow. If we start applying too many colours, because the skin moves, they just get lost and it's a bit overwhelming. This is how I get them equal. I'm using my fingers to blend over the brow bone, tap around the outer edge, and that just ensures that I get that line equal. Taking a fine brush, you can use a pencil, but I'm just going to take a fine brush, and I'm using this same product now. So this is quite a firm brush, like an eyeliner brush, supporting the eye. Because it's the same product, it will just blend, and all I'm going to do is paste over my bottom lashes. Don't worry, if it drops off onto your skin, we're going to tidy all that up. And this is the reason why we did our eyes first. If you have any makeup that's sort of fallen down or come a little bit too low, you take a piece of cotton wool, tiny amount of your micellar water, and you can just take it under the eye and sweep that up the outer edge. Okay, just sweep up. And it just removes any bits of makeup that fall a little bit low. And remember, anything that comes low is going to pull the eyes down. So that's going to keep the eyes nice and lifted. For the eyes, that's it. All we need to do is apply mascara. But I'm going to do that later on. We're going to move on to the face now. Face prime, we've got a moisturiser on, so it's nice and nourished. The primer is going to be a great base for the foundation, for contour, for blusher, etc. Two things here. I have the skin primer, okay, which is a lovely product. This is called like a skin elixir. I can mix the elixir in with the primer, which is what I'm going to do today. And that gives a primer or a base with a beautiful radiant glow. It's exactly what it is. It's a radiant glow. Let me show you. So taking the primer, let me just get, if you can see that on there, it's a goldy, sort of glistening. Let me show you there. Now I'm applying this all over my skin. Obviously, avoid your eyebrows. Just put all that time on your eyebrows. You're not going to go over your eyes. What we're not doing is applying lots of layers. Your skin does not need layers. So I'm going to be doing my contour and my blusher next, and then I'm going to work around it with the foundation. If I apply foundation over the whole of my face and then I apply contour on top of the foundation, that's 2 layers. Whereas if I apply my contour and then apply the foundation around it, that's still 1 layer over the whole of your skin. And the least amount of layers that you have, the more fresh and natural it will look. What we don't want is this mask. We want your skin to glow through. We've got this beautiful radiant glow now. We don't want to hide it all, do we? Again, choice of products. This is your Pixie On The Glow Bronze. They do have different shades. So that is called Beach Glow. That one's called Rich Glow. And they do have another one that's just even lighter. So you'll get the one that's the right tone for your skin. I use Beach Glow. It's a darker sort of tone. You'll see that it's quite a dark bronzy tone, but it doesn't actually go on that dark. Okay, depending on your skin colouring, it doesn't go on as dark as it looks. Now, we also have, as we age, everything falls south, doesn't it? And that makes the face look longer. So this optical illusion we're trying to create, we're going to lift things up, okay? We're lifting it all up. So if we apply anything too far down, it's just stretching and elongating the face. We want to sort of shrink the face like that. Okay, we're going to bring everything in. And of course, we're using the concept of light and dark shadow in order to do that for this optical illusion. So I'm taking this sort of on my cheekbone. So it's just on my cheekbone and sweeping up. I'll do one side first and then you can see the difference. Very gently stipple that in. If your skin is loose or crepey, lifting, lifting, lifting is what your goal is. So hopefully we should be getting a nice lift there. Okay, bearing in mind we've got the rest of the makeup to go. Now what we also want to do is shorten the face down. I'll just do one half so you can see the difference. Because I've got quite a large forehead anyway, I want to shrink it down. Now where I would normally apply my contour on my forehead, sort of on the bony area here, but I want to bring the face down. So I'm going to apply it more like a sweep. So let's just get that on the area because I'm trying to create this optical illusion of my forehead sort of, you can actually see there, can't you? Already. My forehead's coming down. Now to bring the bottom up, I'm going to go underneath my chin, round there. Now this is what really needs to be blended really well because if you miss it, you actually just look like you've got dirty blobs. So it's a good idea to have a few different looks in the mirror and different angles, and also have a look in daylight as well. I would normally apply my blusher next, but I'm not going to do it at the moment because my face already looks a little bit rosy. The room is really hot. Everywhere's hot outside, so I'm boiling sat in here, and I've also got lots of lights as well. It's just making my skin go very pink. So I'm going to apply the foundation next. If you saw my video where I tested 10 different foundations, I will pop a link up there if you haven't seen it. But I have this one by Luxe in my range of foundations, and it did very well in my review. I love this because it's a colour adapting or colour changing foundation. You do get different shades, so it's more like light, medium, dark rather than specific skin tones, so you've got more chance of getting it right. It goes on as a white cream. I'm going to put it on the back of my hands first of all. There you see it's a white cream. It does come with a brush, and a very nice brush as well, I might add. You can apply this with your fingers. It's great with your fingers, but I'm going to apply this with my brush. I'm not going where I've got contour. Although now we've got our contour and our foundation, I am going to apply a bit of blusher, and it is going to go slightly on top, but it's minimal amount of product, so it's not too bad. For the blush, I'm going back to the Pixie. This is the On The Glow brush. And these products are so good on mature skin. They're creamy, they're rich, they're nourishing, they're so easy to apply. This is a lovely, soft sort of baby pink. So it gives a really lovely, fresh sort of pinky tone to the cheeks. So I just take that up there. Let me blend that in a little bit first. So that's just going on the cheekbone. So we're lifting up there. Let me take this side. It's a lovely soft pink colour. The reason being is what we're not doing is drawing the eyes to the cheeks. What we're not saying to people is, look at my face, look at my skin. We just want something to give an element of colour. And because it's a rich, creamy product, it's still hydrating the skin. What you can do, I've shown you how to do this before, take a little bit of this on your finger now and just dab that over. This is where I add a little bit of colour to the eyes, just on the brow bone. So we've got minimal products, but it's almost skin toned. I'm not going to go back to the good old by Terry, my hyaluronic setting powder. I love this because it's so fine, it's so delicate. It is a compact powder, but what it does is it absorbs the oils that makes your makeup look shiny without taking the natural oils of your skin. So it stops your skin becoming dry. All this needs setting. Got a bit of shine up there, going on the corner of my nose, and then just round the corners of my mouth. So it's basically the areas that move. So we're not taking powder over the whole of the face because we're going to lose the healthy glow we've got on the cheeks. I want to keep that. I'm going to do one final layer with my setting spray. Mascara, I'm going to use a brown mascara. This is just a Maybelline. The colour is called Mocha. And it's a really lovely warm brown. Now, when we're applying our mascara, what we really want to do is be pulling the lashes out to the side. So you can take the full length and go up, but ideally we're pulling the lashes to the outside with the tip of the mascara wand. And when you've done the top lashes, a little bit on the bottom. I think as we mature, lip pencils are essential. Not only do they give more fullness to the lips, they give shape to the lips, they also stop lipstick from bleeding into those fine lines. But we don't have to have harsh lines. That's also aging if we have too dark lines. So what we need is a pencil that's almost nude and skin toned. So you'll see them, just give a bit more, that sort of pinky toned. It's very sort of skin toned, to be honest. And this really enables me to shape my lips. So all I need to do now, the lips I think need a bit more depth to them. So this is a Maybelline lipstick here. It's a deep sort of plummy pink. So it complements the pinks in my face perfectly. Take a bit of that on my lip brush and we're just going to get a bit of depth. What do we think? Not only is this makeup great if you have loose or crepey skin, it's actually great for anybody who wants that youthful, fresh, glowing makeup. We've got minimal amount of products and we've got products that also allow the skin to move and allow the natural skin to come through. I think it's a really fresh makeup. Do let me have your makeup question in the comments. I want to make my next video especially for you. So let me know in the comments what problem you have with your makeup. It can be related to this video or anything at all. And I will put all of these together and I will answer your questions in a video. So let me know what it is you want to see. 2 things before you go. Don't forget to download 12 Makeup Mistakes That Age You. It's a free guide. Take that while you can. And secondly, if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It really is a massive, massive help. If you've liked this video, these 2 videos here are great ones to watch next. So go and click on one of those. Thank you so much for your comments. I read them all and I do try and reply to as many as I possibly can. Do take care and I will see you next time. Bye for now.